Hi, it's Nev again. This is the third video in a series where we're going to add three numbers. In the second video we cloned from v1.02 to my own repository here, and then we downloaded to Visual Studio. And so we can operate in Visual Studio. We're going to work on our Pascal files first. So I've actually got that one open there, and I could edit in here if I wanted to, but Control S, but I'm not going to work here. I'm actually going to work direct from the folder. So here's my folder. Pascal will always work on the master file, and that way we'll make a copy for version 102. Okay, in this master file we've got our numbers all declared as strings. We've got our comments nicely in line here. I'm going to change that and add them. Well, let's actually just run it first, make sure that it's still concatenating the way it was. 3, enter, 6, 8, and it's concatenating there. So let's change this now to integer, and we can use this code beautifier. When I do, my lovely lined up comments are all going to come up next to the code, and there'll be a capital I there for integer. So that code beautifier is a handy thing, but it doesn't mess up the neatness of our comments. Let's run it, and 2, 4, 7, and it's now adding. So that is repaired. If we come back to Visual Studio, it automatically updates. You can see this is now integer. These comments in the curly brackets, they don't appear green in Visual Studio because this language is too old really for Visual Studio to bother about it. But it's here working. What I'm going to do now is come back, and I'm going to say copy, Control C, whoops, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to make this version 102. Now I'm a maths teacher who's retrained or mucked around with computers enough to have an idea about this. This adds. So in maths I wanted to see working. In software design I want to see working. Working is really showing your versions like so. Let's go back into Visual Studio. Oh, it's not here. So we're going to have to right click on the Pascal folder. We're going to add an existing item because it's there in Pascal. Here's our 102, and bingo, there's our 102, which is in here now. So we can compare our 101 with our 102, and that's the beauty of doing our versions here. Alright, let's close everything. Pascal is done. Let's now go have a look at Python. Alright, Python. Again, we have a master file. If I wanted to run Python in idle, I could do that. I've got idle already loaded. I can right click, I can edit with idle. My version here is 3.7, and here we can see that we've got number 1 equals input, etc. I can run this with F5. In my computer I've got to shift F5. Enter my first number 5. I think I've got to do enter 6, 7, and it concatenates. Alright, so let's not bother with idle. Let's work in Visual Studio. Now I can see that Python is already my startup. If I can see that Python here is bold, so it is already the startup project, and in fact this master is the startup file. Alright, so what I have to do is do a conversion here to get all these to numbers. Now I've actually forgotten what the conversion is, so I'm going to go back to my website. I'm going to open up in a new tab. Why can't I do this? Right click, open a new tab. I'm going to open up the web page. It's got the overview document here. There it is. And I can go check the overview document, which has got the codes for 102. Version 102, here are the codes for Pascal and Python. Okay, so Python, I need to have this eval code here. Alright, so let's go do that. Back here, I need eval, open bracket, end. Well, actually, I can't use end because I'm going to stop my video. Alright, and I need to do that in each of the lines here. Copy, put that there, put that here. Note that Visual Studio is automatically warning me with these little red wiggly lines that something's missing. When I give it the final bracket here, it's happy. So that's the advantage of using a fancy editor. By the way, let's just view error list. Oh, and we have got some errors. Let's just check where those errors are. Python. Oh, I don't know what to do about that right now. Let's just leave that for the moment. Let's run it. Start. And okay, enter your first number. 4, enter. 5, enter. 8. And it's adding. Press any key to continue, and I'm out of there. So that's fixed. It's going to break if I enter letters instead of numbers, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. Alright, we've done 2 languages. Let's go now and look at JavaScript. I have got my, let's close that. I have got my Visual Studio already set up to split my screen. First time you use Visual Studio, you're going to have trouble. It's just going to come up with the code. So what you need to do is right click, open with. You need to open with the HTML forms editor, and you need to set that as the default and say OK. It'll probably make you close and reopen the file, and it'll probably give you a horizontal split. What you'll need for a vertical split is to go into the tools and the options, go right down here to the web forms, the web forms designer, and you can split vertically. So you check that box there. Okay, and that will give you this, and it'll look like this. So I'm going to split that, leave it over there. Alright, I'm going to go back to my Word doc just so that I know what to do here. So there's VB, here's JavaScript here, and I need to put a number in front of all these to convert. We haven't got formal declarations in JavaScript, so I need to write number to convert these. But let's just go back to the let's get out of Python and let's go to JavaScript. Let's run the master and do 3 and enter. I hit tab then. So that's what it is right now. Let's add the number in here, number, and I need an extra number after the value. I'll need an extra, close the brackets. Right, let's grab that and copy. We'll put it in here. Oops, that'll do. And we'll put it in here. Well, why isn't my mouse working properly? Okay, I'm surprised Visual Studio is not screaming at me. Ah, yes, here it is. There, down here. Notice if I double click on one of the errors, it will take me up directly to the error. Let's put the cursor right in the spot, close bracket, and here, close bracket. It's got the little green wiggly line here to show me for the editing. Okay, now let's run that. Control S, Alt Tab, F5, whoops, hang on, control F5, function F5. Alright, now 2, 4, 6, enter. What's going on? Calculate this. Oh, something wrong. Alright, I'm going to go F12. I can't go F12 because it's one of the things for my video. That's a problem. So let's just see what we've done here. Total. What is our problem? Let me go back to right click inspect. We'll do it this way. Alright, going to go to my source. I'm going to go here and I'm going to source Add3. There's my code. It's telling me I've got a big problem here. Alright, let me go back and have a look at this. Number. And alright, according to this it should work. Alt tab. I've got my second bracket after the end there. What does it say? Oops. Uncaught reference. It's very hard to work out what that actually means. I might have to pause the video. Let's just go back and see if Visual Studio gives me a clue. Number. Alright, total. And right, I can't see what the problem is. Let's just go in and do a breakpoint. We'll do a breakpoint here and see what happens when we... Okay, I'm going to go F11. Well, I'm actually going to use the mouse because my keys are set for the recorder. Alright, we're going to step into the next function and we've got problem. Deactivate the breakpoints. Okay. Alright. Let's pause. And I think I've figured out the problem. Number should have an uppercase N. So I've just fixed the first two. We'll see if it trips up on the third. Let's go back. Control S, Alt Tab, F5. I'm going to just click the button, make it simpler. Alright, let's run it now. We've still got our numbers here. Calculate. It's not happy. Here we go. Alright. 3, tab 6, tab 7. And calculate the sum. And we're in here. Let's go to the step. I get muddled up with these. Okay, paused on the breakpoint. Here. Right, it's normally F11. Hang on, I want F11. That's it. Okay. It's gone through and we've got the error now on this line here. So Alt Tab back. We want a capital N. Control S. Alt Tab. F5. And we can get rid of our breakpoint now. We can get rid of the inspector. Normally I would just push F12, but I've got a problem with that. So I'll just leave it to the side. 3, 6, 8. Enter, and it's working. Alright. Apologies for that little mix-up, but sometimes that helps. Alright, so we should have our Add3 working properly. Let's go back into the file. Let's copy it. Copy paste. That's Control C, Control V, and this one is going to be version 102. Version 102. For all intents and purposes, on the label, I should have. Actually, I'm not quite finished. Enter. Let's go back here, and I need to change this to version 1.02 and make that ads. Alright, let's Control S. What I also should do is change my view here. So 2, this add 3 numbers, this version adds as required. Okay, Control S, Alt Tab. I'll go straight across to here. Here we go. This version adds as required. We've got the right version number there. We've got the right version number up in our header. And so now let's just one final check to tab 4, tab 5, and yes, working. Alright, Alt Tab and Control S. Now let's delete that one. Let's go Control C, Control V, and back, and version 1.02 adds. Done. Oh, I've got that uppercase. Alright, Control S, enter. Alright, let's go back to Visual Studio, JavaScript, add existing item into JavaScript and bring it in. Okay, so we can immediately compare 1.02 with 1.01, and the 1.01 does not have the numbers there. Okay, and also our 1.02 has got the 1.02 in its header. I probably should go to the Pascal and fix. The Pascal should have 1.02 in its very first message, but we'll leave that until later. Okay, we are now at, we've done 3. The last one we've got to do is Visual Basic. So let's set Visual Basic as the startup project. Let's have a look at the files. Let's close all this so that we've got a nice tidy workspace. Let's double click on the form and let's open up the code. Let's double click on the code, and we can actually have them side by side if we click vertical. Alright, I'm working on a Surface Pro, so that scaling is a bit of a problem, but yeah. Alright, so here is my code. I have declared numbers 1, 2, 3 as strings. That's a big problem. Really, I want to declare them as integers. So let's just run it and make sure we're running on master. Let's run it and make sure that it's doing the wrong thing first so that we can fix it. Alright, we're going to come in and 2, 3, 4, enter, and there we go. Alright, let's fix this now. We want everything as integers. So actually what I'm going to do is delete everything here because I want the total, and everything is an integer, if that makes sense. I can use the code beautifier. No, I can't in here. Comment, no. Alright, back. Oh, I need a comma. See how it's given me that red line? Straight away I can see problem. I need a comma, and now it's going to be happy. Let's see if that's enough. Now I don't, you can see the asterisk, so it needs saving, but if I run, it's going to save automatically. Let's see if that actually works. So here we go. I've got to do 6, 7, enter. It's working. 4, 6, 7, and it's working. Alright, normally to be safe it would be best to convert these to integers as well. CINT, open bracket, and then put a close bracket in here. The minute I come out of that line, it's going to align the brackets there. This will be a safer method just to be sure. Copy, throw that in there as well, throw that in here, and we've got close bracket and close bracket. That's keeping the errors happy. Let's run it now, and it should still be okay. As it's running, it's actually creating a new exe file, 456, and that's working. Alright, let's go have a look at the exe file. We're in the demo, we're in VB master, the binary folder and the debug folder, and Add3 was created at 3:53, which is just this same minute. And there it is, that application. So the ideal is to grab that, change its name, maybe call it version 102, and throw that into the releases of GitHub so that it can be called directly. Alright, so with VB I need to copy this whole folder. So Control C, Control V. I am going to call this VB version 102, and it adds. And not only do I have to do this, but I have to change the project file inside. So I'm going to just change this to Add3 102 adds, and enter. I'm now going to go, so that's there. I'm now going to go back to my Visual Studio. I'm going to go to the solution now, because I'm going to actually import, I'm going to add an existing project, because VB is a project. And this address, Add3 demo, yep. Here it is, 102 adds, and here's the new project file that I just created. And so I now have got 102. I'm not sure why it's sitting above there. 102 master. Oh, I forgot the V. Let's just remove that. Yep, it's okay to remove it. Removing it from here does not remove it from down here. Okay, so go in here, and I want version 102 so that it sits in order. Yes, enter. Go back here, do that again. Right click, add existing project, that one, this one, and now it should sit neatly down under the other. So I'm always working on the master, and I'm backing up with these. I don't think I imported the new Python file. It's not there. So with Python as well, it is a project. Let's just check this. Well, let's just see. Set as add existing item. Yeah, okay. Maybe I can do this. Oh, maybe I didn't copy it. Alright, let's go back, and here, Python, where am I? Python, okay, copy, paste. There's the project file there, that py. This one is version 102. Okay, bit of a procedure, but it makes for a nice neat program. Now Python, add existing item, and in the Python file, bingo. So we can look at 102. It's got the eval in it, and we can look at 101, and it's got just the inputs there. Alright, so we're done. We have done version 102 for 4 languages. I could go through. I'll do a separate video for the VBA because this is long enough now. Okay, thank you very much.